Hey there, it's Whitney with messengerspirit.com, and today we're going to be talking about a bra system. And you're like, what in the heck are you talking about, Whitney? So you're probably thinking, are you going to be talking about women's undergarments, or are you talking about like a dude, like, hey, bra? Neither of those are going to be what we're addressing today. So in video 3, here we are talking about being radically authentic. And I want you to choose a system to do that. And so really the only rule that you have to follow is being radically authentic. So in video 1, you learned about illusions. In video 2, you learned all about personal responsibility and taking action towards your happiness, right? Here in video 3, we are going to be practicing. So we've taken action, right? So you have identified whatever's been holding you back. You are starting to take action toward that happiness. And now it's time to be completely authentic. And that means that we often shed the old layers of who we are. So you can think of the snake. The snake sheds its skin, and it's so super symbolic of birthing into a new version of itself. And the same with the phoenix. I love the energy of the phoenix. An old version of us has to die so that a new one is born. And this can be gradual, or it can be bam, overnight. Similar also to a butterfly, has to morph from the cocoon and move into this beautiful being. And just seeing the colors and the vibrance represents your new energy, your new cycle. So how we do this is to sustain being really authentic, and that's going to guarantee that you are aligned with your path. That means you have made some decisions for yourself. And so it's time to continue your alignment. That means saying no to things that do not light you up and saying yes to things that do. Now, it's okay if it's not an overnight type of thing, but your mindset can be. That means you become more aware of what's in alignment with you. You start talking to people. You start meeting new people that represent your new vibration of happiness. And you start saying, you know, I'm going to give myself permission and allow myself to go to events, to take classes, to mingle, to interact with other people that hold that vibration. You may have to take a look at your current situation and say, I've been hanging out, or I've been talking to, or I'm around people that really instilled and just stoked the fear that I used to have. And so I know that that's not something that my energy needs to be around. So I'm going to find different energy that holds that vibration. And so when you are authentic, you are doing what you feel in here. You do what you know is your vibration. You stop feeling guilty about saying no to things because you know it's not a healthy thing for you to be doing. I'm going to invite you to really honor yourself and honor your authenticity. Now, that's going to be really uncomfortable for most of us because we are treading possibly in new territory. We are treading in territory that can seemingly be unknown because we're saying no to things, we're saying goodbye to things. But what happens energetically is when we say bye to something, whether it's a job, a relationship, or just a behavior pattern. It could even be the unhealthy things we've been eating. It can be small, it can be large, whatever it is. It's an energy where we're saying we're no longer choosing that. And so we sometimes feel naked. We feel empty. We're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to function because I feel like I had all this energy around me and now that's gone. Well, now you have a void. And so because the universe likes to fill the void and you have worked on the energy outside of you, right? So that your mindset, your emotions, your spiritual alignment is there for your happiness. Guess what? You attract what is reflected in your energy to you to fill that void. So that means even though you feel like there's a loss, it's not. You're going to replenish that energy with good stuff. So in order to do that, we have to continue on our path. It can feel super awkward to explain to somebody why you're making a change. But guess what? You have to recognize that you may not really have to. Really look at, what is my responsibility? Do I really need to explain myself or not? Now, of course, with your spouse or your immediate family, maybe it's appropriate, but that doesn't mean that they have to necessarily understand it. And when others ask you, you don't necessarily have to validate it. You don't have to feel validated for these changes that you're making. And so it can feel really uncomfortable because you might find yourself in a position where you're like, I'm doing X, Y, Z, and everybody around you, because they're at the old vibration, are like, what are you doing? You're crazy. I don't know why you're doing X, Y, Z. So you have to continually be radically authentic to yourself. If you feel it, you know it's there. Your intuition is telling you this is the direction I need to go in. And it's your responsibility to follow that. If you don't follow it, guess what? You're going to become out of authenticity and you're going to fall back into your old pattern. And then you're going to be stuck in what we talked about in the cycle of illusions. You're going to be also stuck in trying to take responsibility for your happiness, but every time you continue to go back into the old cycle, you're not going to be able to sustain it. That's what happens when my students say, Whitney, I'm not manifesting. I'm not manifesting. It's because they're not holding that vibration. Now, I want to say to you, you do not have to be perfect. So you're human. Don't feel like, oh no, I thought a bad thought. Oh no, I'm sliding back. Just acknowledge it and say, thank you, thought, for being there to help protect me, but I've got this. I'm moving forward in my new direction and I know what I'm doing and it's right and I feel it's right. And when you find that authentic place in your body, you will feel it in your body. You will feel it in your emotional body. You'll feel it in your mind and your spiritual body. And you'll feel aligned and centered. You also might feel really freaking scared too, and that's completely okay. Take those nervous feelings and turn them into excitement for all this stuff that's going on. Now, when you're sustaining your radical authenticity, that means that you're making changes. So we can't just think that we are being authentic. We have to actually sustain the action. So that means, coming from the last video, if you did submit your resume and you said, you know, I'm putting my resume in for XYZ job that I feel is perfect for me. And let's say that you got the job. Well, to be radically authentic, you got to take it. That might mean uncomfortableness as you change, as you shift. Let's say that you said, I'm tired of where I'm living, and so I'm going to buy a new house or put my house on the market, or I'm going to put in a rental application for this amazing apartment that I just love. Well, that means you have to back up those actions. You can't just take it and go, okay, I did it. You have to take that action and continue to take that action and actually follow through with it. And to follow through with it, you have to take a little bit more of a deeper dive into this new energy cycle. So being radically authentic. When you're doing that, you will find your system. So one of the things that I want to share with you is really go back to, why am I doing this? Why do I feel like I am making this shift for me? Maybe it's a feeling, maybe it's a gut feeling, go deeper. And so whatever the why is, I'd love for you to write it down on a piece of paper for your homework, post it wherever you're sitting every day, or if you can't post it publicly, put it in a drawer, keep it in your pocket, whatever. And let that be a reminder for you, because that's going to help you stay on track. So when you feel like saying no, or you feel like, I don't know about this, look at the why of why you're doing it. So if you have to remind yourself of where you've been so that it really instills a change of where you're wanting to go, then do it. Of course, I don't want you just dwelling in the past, but we need to keep a reminder. What I'd love for you to do is also put your goals down on that piece of paper. And so the goal could be, I see myself living in, let's say you love California, and I am so happy surrounded by friends and family. It could be something like that. Put your goal on a piece of paper, whatever it is, so that you are saying, you know, this is so worth leaving that. Now, I don't want you to attach to the outcome as far as you're saying, I'm in this job specifically, in this house, and all these things, but look at the way you're feeling in this goal. Imagine that you have this already. What emotions come up for you? It's really helpful to visualize, to feel, to really have that energetic part of yourself, because when you're seeing what's possible, that keeps you going. And when you see what's possible, I'd like for you to just play with the idea that time is also an illusion. So in spirit, when I talk to my spirit guides and when I talk to loved ones in spirit for other people, time is just an illusion there. It's just cyclical. It all kind of just folds upon itself. Here on the earth plane, we see past, we see present, we see future, and spirit can give messages according to what we perceive is our timeline, but really it's all here in the now. So what I'd like for you to experiment with is say, all right, this is my goal and I have it now. And put it into your energy. Feel yourself being that person. And when you do, this really catapults your growth. You're basically imagining that you're wearing this coat, that you have these clothes that you're putting on, and then you're infusing that into your energy. And so when you have that inner energy system, you're going to continue to be radically authentic because you are that person. You are that person that's achieved that goal. What does that person feel like? What does that person think? What are they doing in their day? And you're going to start embodying that energy. So really, your system can be one, making sure I'm saying yes to things that light me up, no to things that don't. I understand if there's a couple scenarios where you feel like you can't do that yet, but there are always yeses that you can say yes to, and there's always no's. So it could just be that you have a friend who you love, but every time you're around that friend, they're really draining. And so they might say, hey, do you want to go out for coffee? And you could just check in with your energy and say, you know, I just feel like every time I leave that person, I feel drained. I'm going to say no. So there's always a situation where you can choose. And when you are doing that, and you feel like, gosh, I'm wavering a little bit, bring out that piece of paper. That's your system. See what you're leaving and what you are claiming now. And when you're doing that, that's really your system. But do something that feels good for you. It could be pulling out that piece of paper in the morning or in the evening time or whatever it is. But that means that we start really speaking our truth. And be careful. Be mindful. We're not going around telling everybody what we think. You see people on social media just telling everybody what they think and putting comments under all these different things. That is not what I'm talking about. We do not need more controversy in the world. What we do need is people taking more personal responsibility and living their authentic selves and being super happy. So that doesn't mean that we just go out and spew a bunch of hate or, stir up a bunch of anger. What we're doing, as long as we are in alignment with ourselves and our goal is to help other people, we know that we're going to be kind and we're going to be authentic. And there's nothing wrong with you being authentic. You can still be kind. Now, people may not understand, and it does not matter. This is you being you, and that's what I want you to do. So that is your homework. Really, in a nutshell, it's you being you. So if you'd like to chat a little bit more, go into our Facebook group so you can chat with others in this free Facebook community. Just go to facebook.com/groups/intuitive tribe. I'll see you inside the next video.